Hello, this is Model R3102 here again. Today I'm going to make a review, after Train Fest, the new Athearn Genesis GP40-2L CN number 9601 with Tsunami Sound. I have seen CN 9601 a number of times before, especially through right by my house. So let's take this off. Let's set it over there. And let's start by having our review. So, first thing I always like to do when I get a locomotive is to always take it out of the box. Taking it out of the box is pretty important so I can show you anything and everything that I have that comes with the locomotive. So, you see this? This is a Genesis blue box, typical for now, all newer Athearn Genesis locomotives. Here you have is a GP40-2 series locomotive. I have all your diagrams. Shows you the history of the locomotive, the handling and maintenance, more handling and maintenance, DCC and sound, more DCC and sound, cab, more cab. Then you get detail parts for the hood, the walkway, the mechanism, more of the walkway, and then the last couple of pages, then there's under frame, trucks, and then you have prototype photos, and then the warranty. That's part of that. Then you get this Genesis locomotive limited warranty, like all other Athearn Genesis locomotive. You may choose to do that. Sign up for Athearn News. Athearn doesn't send out that much email now that they are under a new guy that does all the work for Athearn, as a good chunk of the Athearn staff went in 2014, so now half of them are now new members of Athearn. So now, here is my newest locomotive. It is number 9601. Like I said earlier, let's take this. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Okay. Now I got the locomotive out of the box. Now I can see how well it is on the locomotive. Well, I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm wasting way too much time on that. So now I can slip these things off. Should be one more on the back. Here. There's a few differences between the GP40-2LW and the GP38-2W that I have. It's down here. I'll show it to you later in the video, but for now I want to get this review done. So the difference between the LWs and the Ws is that the LWs are taller in like height by like a couple inches. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's a few. And it's obviously a wide cab. And when CN bought these locomotives, they only bought them in the they bought some GP40-2Ws, but they were later in time when they did this. Let's put this on the track. Let me get this out of the way. One difference that you can notice between my GP40-2LW and the GP38-2W over here is that there's an extra radiator fan on the 38s and the 38-2s. There's only 2 radiator fans. On the 40s and 40-2Ws, there's 3 of them, and they both don't have dynamic brakes. None of the GPs actually had dynamic brakes. So let's take this locomotive back and show you the lighting. Yeah, I got something with my... Hold up. Okay, before we make this test run up to the crossing, I'd like to make a statement. There are 7 horns that you can choose from this Athearn stock Tsunami mod decoder. Okay, function 1 is the bell. Function 2 is the horn long blast. Default, which is value 0 for CV115, is the RS3L. Function 3 is the short horn. Function 4 are the dynamic brakes, but I'm going to disable them because they are not used on the CNs. Function 5 is the ditch light. Function 6 is, if I'm correct, absolutely nothing. Actually, it's effective lighting, but that's nothing extra for this model. Function 7 is the dimmer, dimming headlight. Yeah, it actually goes pretty dark on that one. So in the video it might show it a little more light, but in person it's not that much. And then yeah, the video is picking up more light than what it actually is. FA is mute, not doing that. Function 9 is the squeal / release. F10, well, I actually changed a couple of CVs before doing anything else, because I actually made the squeal release and the coupler to F11 and F12 for the manual notching option. So that's, and then F12 coupler, yeah, so I changed those CVs around. So yeah, on the horns, P3 is another option. That's value 1. It's for CV115. RS5T is the second one, or third, value 2. K3LA, value 3. S3L, value 4. K5LA, value 5. And M5, the Nathan M5, value 6. So let's get this going. Just as a side note, I will be changing a horn sound on this model, but for now, but just for this review, it's going to stay. Oops. Just some skipping. I can fix that later. Test out the track, it was fine at first. I don't know why I would do this now, but don't ask me. And then as you can see by prototype, there are no ditch lights on the rear on these GP40-2 LWs. Some of them did get installed later, but majority of them do not have that installed on the rear. And then another thing I noticed on the model is that the horn is located on top of the bell, as you can see right here. Those were when they got like out of the factory up until like the mid 90s, and then I think CN moved all the horns to the rear over by the radiator fans. And then, like I said, rear ditch lights are not on these units, just like my 38-2W I have, they don't. But other than that, that's my review. There's not really much differences between the 40-2 and the W and the 38-2W. The only difference is that one's 3,000 horsepower with a 645 turbocharged. The other one is a 645 non-turbo with 2,000 horsepower. And the 40-2 LWs are more common in the United States. And the 38-2Ws are more up in Canada. Although there was one running as a switcher in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, that was 4788 if I'm correct. I can't remember off the top of my head correctly. I want to think it's 4788 is the only 38-2W in the United States. But other than that, that's my review. See you later, and have a good night.